You are on the clock, and we welcome you to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Adam, Dave, and Jamie here on Friday morning. We've got a 12-team full PPR mock draft, 30 seconds on the clock, so these things are flying. Now, guys, I want to do a couple of things today. Instead of focusing on rounds 1 and 2, I want to really focus more on rounds 3 and 4, kind of get into those a little bit more in depth. So we'll let the first couple of rounds play out. We'll update everybody, but I don't know if I want to go too far into those picks. But I want to focus on that. And I want to share. Would you guys like to share a team with me?
No.
Make picks together. Come on.
Let's go.
All right. We have the 9th pick. Our team name is FFT Higgins. What do you think about that?
Who's the final decision on picks? Me or you?
Why did you put Dave's name on the spreadsheet? That should be FFT Higgins, Schaefer. FFT Higgins.
Oh, you're already. Best decision I ever made was not drafting with you because holy crap, look at you. You're already complaining.
There we go. FFT. Here, so we're almost up. Tell me what you think of the first 6 picks. We do have 3 running backs in the first 4. Full PPR. We're only starting 2 receivers in this league. It is 6 point per passing touchdown. All right, the top 7 are off the board. And so far, if Justin Jefferson goes, it'll be the Elite 8. All right, Justin Jefferson went. I'm going to suspend the draft real quick for No, you did. You took Deshaun Watson. That is
I'm not picking. I'm not on the team. You picked Deshaun Watson. It's a weird first-round pick, Adam. Discuss it.
All right, McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson. Should that be the top 4 at this point?
No.
Yes.
They should be
not in that order, but yes.
Oh, what should the order be?
McCaffrey,
Hill, Lamb, Robinson. Running backs.
Wait, Jamie, you're back with Lamb ahead of the running backs?
Yeah, I've never changed it.
I thought you said yesterday. Okay, sorry, I misinterpreted that.
I changed it. I'm the one that changed it.
All right, so it's McCaffrey, Hall, Hill, Robinson, CeeDee Lamb 5, Jamar Chase 6, Amon-Ra St. Brown 7, and Justin Jefferson 8. So, okay, we have the 9th pick. We only need to start 2 wide receivers in this league, as mentioned, and a flex. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receiver, tight end flex, 6 bench spots, 13-round draft. All right, guys, what should we do with the 9th pick?
A.J. Brown.
Love it.
Okay, A.J. Brown it is. And I have to resume the draft. And we are away. Okay, want to thank...
don't think, by the way, that just because the Eagles got Jahan Dotson, that's going to do anything to ruin A.J. Brown.
Can you give me real quick analysis on that? So we do have to talk about the Dotson trade and Anthony Richardson's horrible outing last night. But give me quick takeaways on the Dotson trade.
I think Dotson's there to be the 3rd receiver. We have seen 3rd receivers shuffle in and out of Philadelphia with 0 consequence whatsoever. I think he could open the door for Devontae Smith to play in the slot a little bit more. They'll mix and match. Brown's still going to get his targets. And it does nothing for me. It literally does nothing, although it does improve Jalen Hurts. It's another weapon in the offense that's an upgrade over whatever they had there, Johnny Wilson and their other number 3 receivers. Dotson's an upgrade in that regard, so it's good for Hurts.
Dotson is undraftable, and now you can take a flyer on Luke McCaffrey or Diami Brown in Washington.
Unless
what? Oh, Ayuk.
They could have made that trade to stockpile another pick to throw at San Francisco to get Ayuk. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the trade, and I just have to suspend the draft shortly, but the trade was Dotson goes to the Eagles along with a 5th-round pick for a 3rd-round pick and 2 7th-round picks from Philadelphia. We're about to be on the clock. I'm going to suspend the draft real quick. I'm going to update everybody. I do want to just tell you that now's the time. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, please do that. Use the bonus code FANTASY, and you're going to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code FANTASY. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive excuse me, up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use bonus code FANTASY when you sign up. I got to give a thank you to everybody who's drafting with us today. 11 listeners or viewers participating with us from our Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, it's facebook.com, I think /fantasy football today, or just search for Fantasy Football Today on Facebook. Sometimes I do things like this. So, all right, let's just go through the first round. McCaffrey, Hall, Hill, Bijan, Lamb, Chase, St. Brown, Jefferson. That's our Elite 8, 5 receivers, 3 running backs. 3 of those running backs were the first 4 picks. The 3 running backs were in the first 4. A.J. Brown, we took. Then Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Garrett Wilson. How we feel about 10, 11, 12? Barkley, Taylor, Wilson.
Good, but not in that order.
Agreed.
Travis Etienne is RB6, and he's the first pick of round 2 to pair with Garrett Wilson, followed by Puka Nacua and Marvin Harrison. So that is now 15 picks, no Jahmyr Gibbs. Travis Etienne going at the 2-3 turn, and then Puka and Harrison. The last 3 teams, 10, 11, and 12 in this draft, went running back receiver in some order. Barkley and Marvin Harrison. For Vince, Jerry has Taylor and Nacua, and Adam has Garrett Wilson and Travis Etienne. We real quick on Etienne.
We're about to go receiver, running back as well.
All right, real quick on Etienne though. What did we think there?
Too soon.
Too soon for Etienne. I like the strategy of receiver, running back, obviously, but
I would have gone Wilson, Nacua there.
I wouldn't. I would have taken Jahmyr Gibbs.
Not me.
Okay, so which running back are we going to take? We have A.J. Brown.
We're not taking running back. We're taking receiver.
Jamie, have you given any thought to taking Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I'm there. I think I like that better than Nacua at this point.
We got to debate. We got to debate our pick here. Jamie wants a receiver. We have A.J. Brown. Dave, who do you want?
I want Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jamie, who do you want?
Drake London.
Oh,
Jamie needs an antacid after I think
I don't want Drake London here. That's too early.
I think it's way too early for London. But I mean, listen, if we all loved London, we know he's not going to make it back to us in round 3. So if we had a consensus there, I'd say yes, but we don't.
I don't want to start receiver in a 2 receiver league. Like, let's get a running back.
All right, you guys are on your own the rest of the way. Good luck.
All right, it's 2 to 1.
I didn't want to be a part. I did not want to be a part of this team, so maybe you and Jamie should make the call.
Are we doing Jahmyr Gibbs over Kyron Williams?
I would have clicked Jahmyr Gibbs 5 minutes ago.
All right, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be our pick. Schaefer, you want to weigh in? You're on the team.
Kyron.
Oh, all right. At least
I would take Kyron over Gibbs.
Not me.
Should I respect the? All right. You know what? To give a little bit of respect to Jamie, we'll take Kyron Williams and Schaefer. All right. So Dave gets
respect to Dave. That's not cool.
He got a running back. We didn't take Drake London. All right. So Jahmyr Gibbs is the next pick after Kyron Williams. Did Jahmyr Gibbs behind? No, Dave left the stream. Jamie, if Jahmyr Gibbs behind Kyron Williams because of the hamstring,
of course.
Okay. Originally you had him ahead of Kyron Williams.
Yes.
Okay. All right. On the clock now is Joshua, I believe. He has Amon-Ra St. Brown. He has 4 seconds to pick. He just picked Chris Olave. All right. Still have Drake London on the board. So round 2 is Etienne, Puka, Harrison, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Chris Olave. In terms of Draftathon, our Draftathon League spot went for $2,300 in less than 24 hours. That is awesome. Thank you so much to the person who bid on that. We still have 6 podcast league spots available. They're all available for about $500, $550. We want higher bids. The draft is Monday night, so please make your bid. The draft is Monday night. Go to tinyurl.com/draftathon2024. Click on the auction house section. You'll see you can bid on the tennis match. You can bid on the podcast league spots. You can bid on Zoom calls with us. Great stuff there. If you just look at that page, we've got like $7,000 or something in donations on that page. And I want that to go way up because those are not final yet. All right, let's go back to round 2 here. Etienne, Nacua, Harrison, Kyron, Gibbs. We thought Etienne was a little too soon. Olave, Travis Kelce at 19. Wow. Thoughts on that, Jamie?
Don't love it. I really think they're going to limit his snap counts, and that's going to hurt, I think, his overall production. So he'll be good, but I think he's going too soon.
I think there's a chance that this drafter at 19th overall could have gotten Kelce in the 3rd round or maybe Laporta. So that's Colby there. Derrick Henry at 20, Devontae Adams 21, Isaiah Pacheco 22. Someone's going to get a nice value on Drake London, still available. Oh, there he is. Goes 23rd overall to the Breece Hall manager.
Steal.
And we'll see what the McCaffrey manager does at 24 overall. You got James Cook. Let's see, Jamie's best available. Dave, are you back yet? Come on back, Dave.
No.
He went with Devon Achane. who also went at the 2-3 turn in my FFT Open League. All right, I'm going to pause the draft right here, and we will take a look. I'm just going to highlight the teams that don't have one running back and one receiver. That would be McCaffrey and Achane for number 1, Chase and Kelsey for team 6, and that's it, right? Oh, no, St. Brown and Olave for team 7. Everyone else has a running back and a receiver. We'll see how it plays out. This is where I want to get into it a little bit and talk more about these players. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about round 3, round 4, and beyond after this break on Fantasy Football Today. Okay, let's get right back to it. That's when I went to break a lot sooner than Schaefer thought I would. Sorry about that. Bad hosting. I'm going to resume the draft. McCaffrey and Achane to These are the best. Hey, guys, do you think Richardson and or Pittman will fall in this draft after a horrible showing from Richardson last night?
Why was it horrible?
Oh,
Define
God,
and
so
define
inaccurate. He was so inaccurate. Even on some of his completions, he was inaccurate. I showed Dave a screenshot of my computer, which is filthy, that Dave made fun of me for rightfully. On his sack fumble, he had 3 guys wide open. 3 guys wide open. And he ran out of the pocket and fumbled. And he, of course, threw a pick 6. So I thought, was it not horrible?
I mean, you're going to get mistakes with a quarterback like this. You have to understand that.
Oh, I understand. But it was horrible last night. It was a bad showing.
Was the first drive a bad showing?
No.
Could you imagine if he sat after the first drive, what we would be saying right now?
And he didn't have Jonathan Taylor in on the other drives. I think Taylor on the field is certainly going to help.
Yeah, and the other thing is he didn't run very much. Yeah, there was like a 3rd and forever play where he just took off. The play you're referencing, he kind of locked on his first read and decided not to make a throw to Granson. And he's pressure sensitive. He's still learning the nuances of playing quarterback in the league, but he absolutely knows what to do when it comes to running the ball. So Jamie's on the right track here. You accept that he's going to be a monster rushing and that there's going to be ups and downs passing, but I think there's still a chance for him to be decent as a passer right away. Not just like he's not going to be phenomenal, but he's going to be decent. And there's a dip that's going to happen, and I'm going to want to buy it if he falls to round 6. I'm in 3 drafts today. If round 6 is absolutely when the antenna goes up for Richardson.
All right, let's take a look at round 3 here because we have 2 receivers and 2 running backs. Cooper Kupp, James Cook, Deebo Samuel, Josh Jacobs off the board. You like Kupp or Deebo? Full PPR.
Deebo.
Okay, Deebo, if you remove weeks 6 and 18, he played 15% and 33% of the snaps. Deebo was on pace for 76 catches, 1,139 yards, 9 touchdowns, which is a lot, but only 112 targets. So my concern with Deebo is what if the rushing totals aren't there? Because he was on pace for 267 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns. He's been running less year after year. He runs less. He's 28 years old now, I believe. He's not a high volume receiver. And you can't bank on the touchdowns, I think, in terms of receiving touchdowns. So I get a little nervous about Deebo in full PPR. I do understand the no Ayuk upside, though. But like, why Deebo over Kupp, who could be like a 1,500-yard receiver with over 100 catches?
Because Kupp is 31 and is starting to show the signs of decline based on what we saw last year. I think it'll be okay, but I don't think the arrow is trending up. I think the arrow is maybe leveled at best. You mentioned the rushing for Deebo. McCaffrey's 28 and is coming off a season with 400 total touches as a calf injury. If McCaffrey goes down, what do you think is going to happen with the 49ers backfield?
I don't know. You think Deebo will get a significant increase in rushes?
Yeah, at 1,000%.
Define significant increase.
At least 1 or 2 more per game.
Oh, wow. We just missed
Yeah,
that.
I think that's the right way to couch it because he averaged almost 3 per game in 13 games last year with Ayuk and Kittle. And
what did he do in 2021 when he was before McCaffrey?
He was a monster, but McCaffrey wasn't there.
Carries per game.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing about 4 or 5.
Right. That's what the upside would be if McCaffrey isn't there.
2021, you said, when he was the number 3 receiver in fantasy, he had 59 carries in 16 games.
So
that's
almost
like 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, in PPR, you got to think about targets. You got to think about catches. Let's take a look at the rest. But okay, that's fine. Deebo Samuel is your pick there. Jalen Waddle still on the board. I know you guys, I know Jamie likes him quite a bit. So here's the first 8 picks of round 3. Kupp, James Cook, Deebo Samuel, Josh Jacobs. Nico Collins, another guy. Like, justify Nico Collins 29th overall when you can get Diggs in round 5, Dell in round 5 or 6.
Collins is not coming off the field at all. Still the best receiver on this team. Still the most upside on this team. Diggs is 29. Dell's only playing in 3 receiver sets, at least based on what they showed us in the preseason. So, I mean, to me, Collins is perfect here.
I bristle a little bit on most upside of this team because if something were to go right for Tank Dell, he would have the most upside. But I think that Nico Collins is going to lead this team in targets. I think he's going to continue to be a red zone threat for the Texans. I think he's going to be their number 1 receiver. It would take a lot for Tank Dell to take that mantle off of Nico Collins.
Well, you said if something goes right for Tank Dell, it's Nico Collins getting hurt.
I don't know about that. And I got
Diggs is the one who gets hurt. Well, okay, you're saying Nico Collins getting injured is what would help Tank Dell
To be the best receiver, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where Nico Collins like totally falls apart and Tank Dell just takes over unless CJ Stroud is just so in love with throwing to Dell, who's going to be really hard for teams to cover given all the other receivers that are there. I think he's the safest of the Houston receivers, and I'm okay with that pick.
All right, but I just want last year, I said this on Beyond the Box Score a couple days ago. They were a team that rotated their wide receivers more than you would have thought. So I don't know if Nico's never coming off the field based on the preseason, maybe, but based on last year, no. And based on preseason,
obviously he's coming off the field, but
I don't mean
who's going to play the most of the 3 of them. He's going to play the most of the 3 of them.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
I'll rephrase it. He's going to play the most of the 3 receivers.
Okay. Now I'm a little surprised this round a little bit more running back heavy than I would have thought. Through 8 picks in round 3, we have 5 running backs and 3 receivers.
It's gross.
So we don't have Ayuk yet. We don't have Evans. We don't have Waddle. They're all still available. Whereas James Cook, Josh Jacobs, and then this trio of Kamara, Rashad White, and Ken Walker have been drafted. We are actually on the clock with A.J. Brown and Kyron Williams. So what do you think about James Cook, Josh Jacobs, Kamara, Rashad White, and Ken Walker? Are you good with them in round 3 of a PPR league?
Cook and Jacobs are okay. Walker and White are okay. Kamara, no way.
What?
There are other receivers that I like better than Kamara, and Kamara and Achane are my least favorite running backs that have already been taken in this draft.
Okay.
And Kelsey, obviously, stands out as a reach.
Oh yeah, we talked about Kelsey when you left the chat. All right, we're on the clock.
I heard. I was sitting over there
with FFT.
I was not on the toilet, as some people in the chat said.
AJ Brown and Kyron Williams. Our next pick. Jamie votes for Waddle. Dave, what do you vote for?
What's our team? We've got 1 running back and 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, still Laporta is an option here. We have Brown and Kyron Williams.
Okay. I like our chances of getting one of Evans, Ayuk, Neighbors, Metcalf, Waddle. And would you settle for DJ Moore in round 4?
No.
Okay. So if you're okay with that group of receivers, I would go with Laporta because I don't want to take Mixon here. The running backs they went all in front of us. My vote's for Sam Laporta.
Waddle.
That's interesting. Waddle, Laporta. Now,
I think Waddle might make it back to us.
I think McBride or Andrews might make it back to us.
Yeah, that's the other thing. McBride or Andrews. So is Waddle.
Yeah, Andrews. Well, there's a realistic chance. There's a realistic chance that both Andrews and Waddle will not make it back to us.
All right, Waddle.
If we pass on tight end, I hate that pick. If we pass on tight end, we might lose out on all 3.
And Jamie, why do we like Jalen Waddle? Because I think Schaefer wanted Waddle too. So that was 3 Waddles there. What's the appeal for Jalen Waddle?
He's got very awesome standalone value by himself to be 15 plus PPR points per game. And if something happens to Tyreek Hill, he could be the top 3 receiver.
He was hurt for 2 weeks in training camp. He's once in his career been over 15 PPR points per game. He and Tyreek getting 15 points plus each in the same week has not even happened a third of the time when they've been together with Tua. And last year, he didn't get 15 plus points at any point when Tyreek and Achane were on the field. I am nervous to take Jalen Waddle at this point. I would have taken 3 or 4 other receivers.
Should have gone around 2.
Jalen Waddle, if you remove weeks 7 and 16, he played less than 50% of the snaps in those games. Jalen Waddle was on pace for 92 catches, 1,276 yards, 7 touchdowns on 133 targets. I think you would take that for sure with the what did we have? 33rd overall pick.
I'm not sure that that's any better than what Mike Evans can do. I think Evans' upside is higher.
Not the touchdowns, but the yards and catches, I would say 92 catches. I don't think Evans getting that.
Yeah, right. But you're saying 7 touchdowns. Evans could get 10.
Yeah, for sure.
12. Catches, how many catches for Waddle? You said like 92.
92.
Yeah, that probably beats Evans, and the yardage probably beats Evans as well. I think it's close between those guys, but I would have taken Evans.
Well, look, Evans is still.
And I definitely would have taken Neighbors.
We might be able to get Evans because he's. Oh no, I'm sorry, he went. Okay, so after
but look at the receivers that are going to fall to us now.
Yeah, we got to take T. Higgins.
Nixon just went. I wanted to take.
That's even worse.
Let's recap here because again, I want to focus on these guys.
Higgins went.
No, Nixon went. Okay,
we got to take Higgins.
Hold on, we don't have to take Higgins. We have AJ Brown, Kyron Williams, and Jalen Waddle. After our Jalen Waddle pick at 3.9, Devontae Smith. It's a little bit earlier than I'm used to seeing him go. Smith went to a team that had Barkley and Marvin Harrison. Then Mike Evans went to the Jonathan Taylor Puka Nacua team. And then Sam Laporta was the last pick of round 3, a round and a half.
Neighbors still there. Take Neighbors.
Yeah.
Let's take Neighbors. Garrett Wilson, Travis Etienne, Laporta for team 12. Give me your thoughts on Devontae Smith, who definitely, I know I've given these stats before, but just in case you're new, Devontae Smith has basically, when Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Dallas Goedert have all been healthy, Devontae Smith has been a borderline, like a 2-3, like borderline top 24, if not top 30 wide receiver over the last 2 seasons. He explodes when one of them is out.
Yes.
There's the reason.
I think there's a little more to it.
But he also could be better than what he's been. He could just have a better.
Kellen Moore's offense is going to be great for him.
Dude, you know how we do an episode every year about guys that we're scared of being wrong about?
Yeah.
I am very scared about being wrong on Devontae Smith because if his metrics when he's in the slot versus out of the slot before Kellen Moore came to town were off the charts. And if Moore utilizes him in that way and he gets a little bit more volume because of it, that cuts down into the types of targets that Goddard would get. And he could just end up being really, really good. Like that's the threat to AJ Brown. If there's a case to be made for a threat, I'm not saying that there is one, but if you wanted to make the case for why AJ Brown might take a step back, it could be because Devontae Smith could dominate from the slot. Great route runner, awesome speed to get away from coverage down there. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned it, without Goddard on the field last year, weeks 11 through 13, 21 PPR points per game on average. He was absolutely great.
And then in the playoffs, without AJ Brown, he went over 100 yards.
Right. But all that being said, I would still take Neighbors over him.
Okay. Then Mike Evans went after him, then Sam Laporta, then DK Metcalf, then Mark Andrews, and then Joe Mixon. And that brings us to a spot in the draft at running back that just sucks. Like, I don't think you guys want Najee Harris, David Montgomery, Rodgers for like another almost 2 rounds.
Yep.
So running backs went early here. That leaves us with AJ Brown, Kyron Williams, Jalen Waddle. Are we all good with Malik Neighbors here?
It's either Neighbors or McBride, so I'll take Neighbors.
Well, the other option is a quarterback. We could be the team that takes a quarterback.
No.
I made the decision for us.
You took.
I'm back on the team now.
Who'd you take? Oh, Neighbors. Trey McBride went after that. I still think, like, you could think that, hey, in a 6-point per passing touchdown league, are we really taking Malik Neighbors over Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yes, because you're going to be able to get good value at quarterback no matter when you take him. And listen, Mahomes in round 4, that does feel like a steal.
Yeah,
it's pretty clear that quarterbacks are going to slide in this draft.
Pittman just went. We got to talk about that. Malik Neighbors, Trey McBride, DJ Moore, and Michael Pittman. Where's my scary music? Gotta get that. But all right.
I mean, for crying out loud, there hasn't been a single quarterback taken yet.
Yeah, this is wild. 44 picks and no quarterback.
Yeah, this is not going to be like a typical home league for sure. But the fact that we're recognizing that quarterbacks are falling Mahomes. But I think it's a good thing. I'm glad we didn't do it. But I wish we had Laporta and Neighbors instead of Waddle and Neighbors.
Really? Yeah, that's not a bad point, right? Because there's a chance that in round 5, we are going to be able to get, I think, a pretty good chance. We're going to be able to get someone in the T. Higgins, probably not, George Pickens, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Amari Cooper range. Whereas Dalton Kincaid will probably have been taken by then, and then we're going to be looking at Kittle, Ingram, and Pitts. So you could make the case that we should have taken Laporta over Waddle. Dave is making that case. Jamie, what do you think?
Could have taken McBride over Neighbors.
No,
Or
we shouldn't have. No way.
Well, if
Way
you want to
more
go that route,
upside with Malik
same
Neighbors than with
conversation.
Trey McBride.
All right, let's catch up. I'm going to pause. We just finished round 4. Let's take a look at round 4 here. DK Metcalf, Mark Andrews, Joe Mixon. Again, we are not expecting to see running backs for a while. And yes, after the Joe Mixon pick, the last 9 picks were non-running backs, including 3 quarterbacks. So we went with Malik Neighbors to give us 3 receivers. We only need to start 2, but we've got our flex so far through four rounds with Kyron Williams as our hero RB. Trey McBride at tight end, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman,
All right, you get 1 time per show on that.
Brandon Ayuk, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, T. Higgins, and Josh Allen. Okay, this is obviously later than we're used to seeing Ayuk go. That was 44th overall. Is that good value?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Then Hurts. Oh, sorry. Then after Ayuk was Mahomes, Hurts, then Higgins, then Josh Allen.
Those are good values. Love those quarterbacks. I don't know when you'll see it in your drafts at home, everybody, but man, getting any of those 3 quarterbacks in late round 4 that feels like a big win.
I'm having a lot of fun sharing FFT Higgins with you guys, by the way. I just want to let you know.
Well, we should have taken Higgins.
No way.
Over Neighbors?
Come on. So
name your team and then not draft a player.
Oh no.
We change our team name to FFT Neighbors.
Good.
We just did. Schaefer just changed it. FFT Neighbors. Okay. Give me real quick. Look at the 12 teams. Give me your favorite build so far.
Ours.
Hold on. Now I got to look at this.
Actually, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Team 8.
Right before us, Jefferson, Gibbs, Ken Walker.
Sorry, team 7.
St. Brown, Olave, Rashad White, DJ Moore. Not my favorite team. I feel like we got
my favorite team, but my favorite build.
I feel like we got some touchdown problems on that team.
You said build, not players.
Okay, it's fine. Give me your favorite team.
Oh, ours. We got a round 2 pick in Waddle in late round 3, and a round 3 pick in Neighbors in round 4.
All right, I dig that. I know you guys probably aren't going to agree with this. I like team 4. Bijan, Adams, Jacobs, Mahomes.
No, I totally disagree. Those are good players, but there's better teams than that.
Like
Adams in round 2 is gross.
Like what? What's a better team? Ours is pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie.
Ours is good. Yeah. I don't know, man.
All right.
Listen.
Round 5.
There's a lot of good with our team. I just wish we had a different running back. I wish we had Gibbs instead of Kyron. I could live with Waddle, but he'll be our wide receiver 3 or our flex. This is a 2 receiver league, right?
Yes.
Okay, if we had taken Gibbs, maybe we wouldn't have taken Laporta then because those guys are on the same squad. So
right.
In retrospect, I would have liked it better if we had Laporta and Neighbors, and then we could get a receiver in round 5. I'd like to see who makes it back to us.
Schaefer likes
that would have been my favorite team.
Tyreek Hill, Isaiah Pacheco, Debo Samuel, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I kind of like Jack's squad, even though he has 2 running backs with his first 3 picks. It's almost like a hero wide receiver build, and because it's 2 wide receivers in a flex, you can get away with that.
And that is Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Ken Walker, Trey McBride.
Yeah, Walker's moved into round 3 for me. I think he's one of the better running. He's worth. You might feel a little reachy to take him in late round 3, but I think he's going to be worth it.
All right, round 5 starts with Rashee Rice, 49th overall. We good with that?
Yes.
Who else was on the board?
Tank Dell and George Pickens and Amari Cooper still there.
And T. Higgins. Yeah, there's probably a couple of Higgins went in late round 4. Yeah, there's probably a couple of receivers I might have considered over Rice, but it's not egregious.
All right, we get some running backs here at 53 and 54, but 49 is Rashee Rice, Tank Dell, George Pickens, Dalton Kincaid. I don't think I think we're pretty much going to get shut out of that unless we get Cooper might fall to us. Because I was saying, hey, we could have taken
But
Laporta.
why would we want Cooper?
No, I'm saying if we had not taken Waddle or Neighbors, but that would be the last one, really. Oh, Diggs is there too. Yeah, no, I think we made the right call. All right, sorry. Round 5 is Rashee Rice, Tank Dell, George Pickens, Dalton Kincaid. So that's tight end 5. James Conner, Zamir White, Lamar Jackson, Chris Godwin. And now we're on the clock. And, to me, Amari Cooper, who's the best player available? To me, it's Amari Cooper.
I agree. But we can't start him. So
no, we're not picking him.
Kind of annoying. Right.
Taking a running back. Do we reach for a tight end and take Pitts, Kittle, or Ingram?
Well, if there's no consensus, there's 2 tight ends after us. So
Right.
we just wait.
Perfect. Thank you, Jamie. Great job of making the point of keeping tabs on the teams that are picking after you in the round and then before you in the next round. So because there's like 3 tight ends, I don't think we've got conviction on one guy. We can wait, and we'll get one of those guys with our next pick.
This is crucial here. Okay.
Does it feel dirty to take Montgomery here?
Hold on. Our team is a hero RB build. A.J. Brown, Kyron Williams, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors. If we want a top 8 tight end, it has to come in one of the next 2 picks. Correct. I do think we could we're in round 5. I do think we could, not necessarily will, but could get Jake Ferguson in round 7. But if we want, the problem here is that the running backs, I think, are the worst value right now. So we could commit to hero RB and go like Richardson tight end or Stroud tight end. Is Burrow still there?
I believe Burrow is still there.
Yeah, we can go.
Every quarterback
Stroud, Richardson, Burrow.
We could go quarterback tight end here. We could take a 4th wide receiver. We could take Amari Cooper. It's not terrible. And then just not draft receivers basically for the rest of the draft.
I would take Cooper here, and then we don't have to worry about receiver for a while.
Dave, what do you think?
I guess I'd be okay with that, but I think I might prefer Montgomery. This is old head running back guy talking. Because I think he's the last of the running backs that's any good as an RB2. Don't love
I don't have a problem with Montgomery here if that's the way you want to go.
What do you guys think about quarterback tight end?
I would say based on how the draft is falling, we commit to tight end in the next round.
I agree.
And we take either Cooper or Montgomery. That would be my order, but I don't have a problem with either one.
Cooper would be our 4th receiver. He'd be a bench player for us. Montgomery would be our RB2, but there's still
I think we would regret it. I do have Cooper ranked ahead of Montgomery, but I think we'd regret it a little bit when we're looking at running back in round 7 or 8. And it's not going to, I mean, like it could be Brian Robinson, who
could be Javonte.
Could be who, Jim?
Javonte.
Yeah, I don't think those guys are too terribly far off from Montgomery, but I like having the guy that's going to get double-digit touchdowns. And
again, if Gibbs' hamstring is a problem, then this is a steal.
Exactly. Right. We give ourselves that upside there with Montgomery.
So now you know what? It turned out that not taking Gibbs is going to work out for us here because we got Kyron Williams. We could have taken Laporta. We would have been nervous to take Laporta otherwise. And I don't think we would have taken Montgomery with Gibbs at all. We
haven't spoken at all, unless it's been when I haven't been on the show, about Laporta's hamstring injury, which kept him out for weeks.
Yeah. You're right. I mentioned it a couple of days ago, but it's sort of like as an afterthought. All right, so we took Montgomery. Anthony Richardson went. Joe Burrow went. We still have Stroud on the board. We are about to be at the last pick of round 5, 60th overall. And Schaefer, after the pick 60, we are going to take a commercial break, just letting you know. Let's see what Team 12 with Garrett Wilson, ETN, Sam Laporta, DK Metcalf is going to do with his 5th pick. Adam is on the clock. A different Adam. What are you going to? He took DeAndre Swift. Ooh, that is early. 60th overall. Is that too early for Swift?
Feels a little early.
All right, we're back. We're out. Dave, you want to tell everybody about your dream? Tell them about your dream when we come back on Fantasy Football Today.
All right. So I saw Khalil Herbert had like 99 yards and 18 carries. And I thought to myself, wow, the Bears are really showcasing him to maybe make a trade. I spent, 5-10 minutes this morning thinking about which teams would be perfect for the Bears to make the move to trade Khalil Herbert to. And I thought I saw it in the CBS app. I checked the box score from last night's games, and I thought I saw Herbert there. And I get in this morning, and Adam's like, "Do I need to see anything from the Chiefs Bears game?" And I told him, "Well, I'm going to go back and watch Khalil Herbert's snaps." And then he's like, "What?" And I went and looked at the box score again, and Khalil Herbert did not play.
Yeah.
So I must have dreamed that Khalil Herbert was showcased in their final preseason game.
Yeah.
And was going to get traded. And I was getting ready to make the point that Khalil Herbert should be one of your last picks. And maybe that's still true, but it's imminent. He's going to get traded somewhere else. Nope. I dreamed that Khalil Herbert played in the last preseason game.
What is going on here in our draft? We had an auto pick and then I backed it out and then he drafted Keaton Mitchell. Did one of you do that?
I did not. I was too busy talking about my dumb dream.
It was a pretty funny moment. All right. Hopefully Jerry can make his pick. DeAndre Swift went to a guy whose team name is Go Bears. I will point that out. And then he took Christian Kirk. Best wide receivers available right now at 62 overall. Still Amari Cooper.
Still there.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to be able to pass on him for a tight end? Stephon Diggs is still there. Calvin Ridley. Jerry, you are on the clock. Do not take Keaton Mitchell, please, Jerry. And do not auto pick. Why does this always happen? I don't understand why we cannot get 11 people together who can just sit there and do a draft for the allotted time. When I said, please make sure you can be there for the allotted time. All right, he auto picked Aaron Jones, and I'm going to keep that for him. We are on debt. Now we're on the clock. Okay, Cooper's off the board, which is a relief. All right, we're taking a tight end here. We've got Brown.
Pitts.
Brown, Kyron Williams, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, and David Montgomery. And you want to take Kyle Pitts?
I wouldn't.
Not Kittle?
What I would take Kittle.
Pitts.
Schaefer, break the tie.
Pitts with the upside for sure.
All
Go
right.
Gators.
All right.
Yeah,
Go Gators.
This is what we get when we're drafting with two
true.
Gators.
We should take a Njoku.
We could have waited for Njoku, and that might have been a better pick than Pitts in round 6.
Wrong.
Round 6 is, if you want a top 8 tight end, early round 6, you can maybe expect by the end of round 6, they're probably all gone, those top 8. So if that's your goal going into the draft, just keep it in mind. Kirk, Aaron Jones, Amari Cooper, Kyle Pitts, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle, CJ Stroud, and still Stephon Diggs is available. Evan Ingram is the next pick. There we go. 68th overall. The top 8 tight ends are off the board. And we'll see if one of the first 3 teams, if teams 1, 2, 3, Jordan, Brad, and Daniel, if one of them takes Jake Ferguson. I don't know that you have to because, well, we'll see. Because everyone from 4 to 12, there are 9 teams there, and 8 of them have a tight end. So you got Vince at the 10 pick. He's the only one who doesn't have the tight end. He's hoping
he'll take him.
Jordan, Brad, and Daniel do not take Jake Ferguson here at their turn. Stephon Diggs goes 69th. Ramondre Stevenson goes 70th. You guys see any steals so far in round 6? Kirk, Jones, Aaron Jones, Cooper, Pitts, McLaurin, Kittle, Stroud, Ingram, Diggs, Ramondre Stevenson.
I would say that Cooper is the closest thing to a steal, but it's not like this amazing highway robbery. Just good value.
Okay. Kyler Murray, Calvin Ridley to finish out round 6. On to round 7 now.
Okay, so if you, and I'll ask this to both of you, if you were Jordan, Brad, or Daniel, would you take Jake Ferguson now?
Yes.
100%.
And I want to specify that the fact that it is a 2-receiver league and not a 3-receiver league increases. Just again, I always make the case. I always want to say, this is just me. You don't have to agree with this. It makes it more important for me to have a tight end that I like. So Ferguson goes 74th overall. Najee Harris was the first pick of round 7. Jake Ferguson, the second pick of round 7. Jamie, let's talk about this range of running back here. I'm going to pull up your running back rankings because recently we've seen Ramondre Stevenson and Najee Harris go in the last 4 picks. Aaron Jones was an auto pick at the beginning of round 6. But, I just think that people probably look at this group and say, we've got a lot of guys that are very similar. I want to wait as long as I can, right? Pollard, Javonte, Mostert, Spears, Chase Brown, Jonathan Brooks, Zach Moss, Jalen Warren, Devin Singletary. A lot of names there. And Brian Robinson just went. You kind of feel that way? It's a big clutter here.
Yeah, that's why I don't think you want to reach for these guys in this range. You kind of let it fall to you. Again, this is why tiers matter. So you take a look at what you feel comfortable with on your roster and who you think is going to maybe have similar upside to 2 or 3 guys in front of them, or maybe more upside, just percentage points based on projection. So if you have a strong feeling, like I think we had a good conversation about David Montgomery and why he made sense there in terms of being at the front of the blob. But like I know Dave's a James Conner guy. I wouldn't take James Conner there. But if you have a feeling like Dave does about Conner, Heath has a feeling about Javonte Williams. Take Javonte Williams because you think he's going to be the best of the Denver running backs and have a chance to maybe be a top 15 to 18 caliber running back. So we're getting squeezed a little bit here if we're looking at one of the guys in this tier, just based on how this round is going with Robinson and Williams and Pollard, which would have been my 3 favorite, not necessarily in that order. So it probably was the smart decision to go with Montgomery where we did.
All right, our team is almost up. We have A.J. Brown. We had the 9th pick. A.J. Brown, Kyron Williams, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, David Montgomery, and Kyle Pitts. We are on the clock. Let me recap the first 8 picks of round 7. They are Najee Harris, Jake Ferguson, Brian Robinson, Zay Flowers at 76 overall. I like that. You guys like that? You like that? Zay Flowers, 76th overall?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good one. In fact, for team 4, is that Sean? Yeah.
God, you're blind.
The heartbreak kid. Put on your glasses, Adam.
Take only one wide receiver with his first 5 picks and end up with Stephon Diggs and Zay Flowers in round 6 and 7. That's pretty.
Would have been so much better if it was Drake London instead of Devontae Adams.
Fair enough. Whoever you wanted that to be. Diggs, Zay Flowers. Okay, sorry. Zay Flowers was the 4th pick of the round. Then it was Javonte Williams, Tony Pollard, and Jalen Warren. So the first 7 picks of the round, 5 of them were running backs. The other was Ferguson and Flowers. Jaden Daniels is pick 8 of the round. We do not have a quarterback. We have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end. So what should we do here? The best quarterbacks available are Love, Dak, Caleb Williams, Purdy. There's no way we're taking a quarterback here. Right?
Burrow was taken 2 rounds ago.
Oh, Burrow's out. Burrow's gone.
Where'd Burrow go? Oh, I see. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. If Burrow was available, then for sure, yes.
So it's Love and Dak are the next 2?
Yeah.
So we just have to, if we don't have a strong preference, for me it would be Love over Dak. Then we can wait, but team 12 does not have a quarterback.
I don't even want to take one of these guys. I want to take a wide receiver and a running back with our next 2 picks and then get in the Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy Tua range and grab 2 of those. What do you think about
that? I'm okay with that.
Nice. All right, so what should we do here? Again, we have 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and a tight end. The best running backs in Jamie's rankings are Mostert, Spears, Chase Brown, Jonathan Brooks, Zach Moss. The best wide receivers in Dave's rankings are Deontay Johnson, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Cortland Sutton. Oh boy, wide receivers starting to get pretty thin.
It's starting to get thin, but there's enough there to where I would take whoever's left at wide receiver with our next pick.
I feel like
this might be the time to draft and stash Jonathan Brooks.
Oh, that's so interesting because I thought that there were more running backs where I'm more comfortable with whoever's left in round 8. We're in round 7 right now.
Let's make a quick list. Who are the running backs that you would take in round 8?
We're in round 7. The running backs that I think are worthy of one of our next 2 picks are Brooks, Mostert, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, Tajay Spears. I'd say
5 names, and then at receiver, we've got the 2 Packers guys.
And Deontay
Johnson on our list.
Yeah, those would be the only 3 for me. But I don't want to be the guy here that's telling people what to do. I want you guys to tell me what's your list.
That's probably
I would take Christian Watson here and hope for a running back on the way back.
Yeah, and based on how we feel about the running backs, I'll take back what I said. Let's go for the receiver. Yeah, I kind of I don't like that Johnson's banged up right now, and we don't know how bad it is. And I'm Reed over Watson, but I'm not going to fight you on this one if you want to take Watson first.
Schaefer, you good with Watson?
Yeah, but I kind of like Jonathan Brooks if we could get him coming back.
Sure. We'll give it a shot. All right, we took Christian Watson.
We'll give it a shot.
And all right, great. So if you're willing to wait on quarterback, then you're going to be pretty loaded at running back and receiver. What was our next pick here? Our next pick was Dallas Goedert, and that was not a pick. Well, that's why we want Ferguson, right? Because that's why we want a top 9 tight end.
Absolutely. But he also could have waited till his next pick to take a tight end that's better than Goddard. Like that pick is ugly all the way around.
Keenan Allen is after Goddard, and now we're at the 7-8 turn with Go Bears. Oh, he's probably pissed that Keenan Allen just went. Jordan Love.
Take a Dunze.
Jordan Love is his pick, and I guess he doesn't mind the Packers here. Okay. And is he all right? We're ready for round 8. Ready for round 8 here.
By the way, I'm for sure passing on quarterback now. There's only one other team that's in the first 8 draft slots that needs a quarterback. And so even though Dak's left, I'm totally willing to wait and take 2 of those guys. Kind of go with the plan, Adam.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Jonathan Brooks went the pick before us. So round 8 is Zach Moss, 85th overall, Xavier Worthy, and then Jonathan Brooks. We need a running back. We only have 2. And that's fine. We have some good options here. We have Mostert, Chase Brown. How do you not take Mostert here?
We're taking Mostert here.
Jamie, you good with that?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, good. I like Raheem Mostert as our number 3. And if we couldn't have gotten him, Chase Brown, Tajay Spears, those have been really good picks too. All right, FFT Higgins neighbors. So far, no quarterback. Kyle Pitts at tight end. Kyron Williams, David Montgomery, and Raheem Mostert at running back. Not a lot of catches among our running backs, I'll say that. A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors at wide receiver and flex, and Christian Watson as a bench wide receiver.
We might have a lot of touchdowns between our running backs, though.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Chase Brown is the next pick. And
Kyron should be good for another 10 touchdowns. Montgomery, 9 to 10. Mostert's the one who's obviously taking a huge step back. He might only score like 6 times this year, but the whole idea is he could be he's our number 3 running back. I don't even think would we start him over either Kyron or Montgomery in week 1? They're playing each other, Williams and Montgomery. That's Lions, Rams. I think I'd probably go with them. So Mostert's on our bench to begin the year. We'll use him at some point.
No. Is he playing the Niners? No.
Who,
Jets,
Mostert?
the Niners. Who are the Dolphins?
Unless he gets traded to the
They
Jets.
play the Jaguars.
That's
Yeah.
the Jaguars. Oh, right.
Jaguars.
All right, here's round 8 for you. Zach Moss, Xavier Worthy, Jonathan Brooks, Raheem Mostert, Chase Brown, Jaden Reed, Lad McConkey, Deontay Johnson, Tajay Spears. You got to say this is a good round to get a running back, right?
It's not bad. Good value for sure.
Yeah. And we're coming up on pick 94. We have 3 picks left in round 8. How about
Would
the
you
receivers?
prefer Brooks and Reed to Watson and Mostert?
No.
I think I might have. I think I got a little regret there. I'm good with Watson and Mostert for sure. But
Okay.
I might have wanted.
If Watson hits the best player of that group.
I just go back to
He's
like
healthy for sure.
when Watson plays, he's the best player of that group.
Right.
You know, it's not just like we're projecting the upside. We've actually seen it. Now, Reed was a rookie and had a really good rookie season, but when Watson was on the field, he was different.
5.9 catches per touchdown. In other words, he had a touchdown every 5.9 catches, and it was even lower than that in his rookie year.
Can't really rely on that, but he's the one who looks like a number 1 receiver.
You can, though, because you clearly see that 2 different quarterbacks view him as a guy that they can score with.
Yes. I just don't think he's going to average 1 touchdown per 6 catches.
Well, if he plays a whole season, it might be like 1 every 7.5, and that's still really, really good.
That'd be very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he's not there, Reed makes a ton of sense.
So what do we think about the wide receivers in this round? Lad McConkey. I'm just going to pause the draft real quick. This might be the last time I pause the draft for those of you drafting. I appreciate your patience. Xavier Worthy actually was the first receiver in this round. Worthy, Jaden Reed, Lad McConkey, Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, DeAndre Hopkins.
You're starting to get to the point where there's the number 3 to 4 receivers. And look, Reed, Worthy, Deontay, I think a lot of people would be okay with them as their number 3 receivers at this point. If you draft receiver heavy, they should probably be your 4th. But, now we're starting to get into some uncertainties. McConkey's an uncertainty. Is he even the best receiver on his team?
Right.
Sutton, not going to score 10 touchdowns again. And how good will he be in Bo Nix's offense? I think he's okay, but this is the right round for him. And then Hopkins being banged up. How good will he be? when he's healthy with Calvin Ridley now on the team.
And I got to ask this question: Is Xavier Worthy going to end up being a better value than Marquise Brown, who's going to go, after pick 100? I'm going to guess that if, let's say, Brown misses 2 games, I'm going to guess that people in this format, starting 2 receivers and a flex, are probably not starting Xavier Worthy for the most part, right? Like, he's a bench guy for you. And when Marquise Brown comes back, who's going to be better?
I hope it's Brown, but look, Worthy's having a great preseason, great training camp. He's taking advantage of the opportunity here. He's certainly their future, so if he's ready to go, I don't know if Marquise Brown gets his job back.
Gets his job back? I mean, I don't think he's going to not play.
Oh, he'll play, but I mean, who's on the field for them in 2 receiver sets?
And they will
Brown.
not be in
Brown over Worthy.
receiver
That
sets
would-
as well.
I would think so, but if they love Worthy that much, like that's the guy they're invested in.
So would you rather have Worthy in round 8 or Marquise Brown in round 10?
Brown.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go to round 9. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I have to put some time.
Adam's learning to count.
Round 9 begins with Jerome Ford, who actually goes before Nick Chubb, right? Yeah. Is that how you guys would do it?
Ford over Chubb, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I would take Chubb over Ford.
That's in a vacuum, though. In this guy's situation, he's got McCaffrey, Achane, and Najee Harris. Why are you drafting Jerome Ford?
Right.
That's a Nick Chubb pick all the way.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say this is guy. By the way, that guy Jordan who just took Ford is the only manager I think without a tight end, and he wisely did not take.
Go number 2.
There's no need to. There's no need to take one there because I don't know who's taking a backup yet. We'll see. Devin Singleton.
I would have stumped for Bowers if Bowers had made it back to us, but he already went to Daniel already. I'm looking to see how many other teams which teams in this draft in round 9 would have taken Ford over Chubb. And I think Joshua, who has Rashad White and Jalen Warren, and that's it, he could have used Ford because that's somebody that he can begin his season with.
Or the guy with Brooks
in his lineup. The guy with Brooks has Barkley and Mixon. I don't think he's starting Ford.
Well, you might want him as a flex.
Yeah, but I think I'm justifying why Chubb is the better pick. When we're in the middle rounds, and this is round 9, this is past the midpoint, this is where you're going to find you're looking more for value and long-term appeal rather than some short-term appeal, unless you went 0 or hero RB.
Question. What do you think the backfield looks like if Nick Chubb starts the season on IR? What are the touches looking like?
Ford will be their lead rusher, with Foreman most likely being their short yardage option.
Totally.
And maybe Pierre Strong mixed in a little bit on passing downs.
Do you think Jerome Ford gets 15 touches a game?
Yes.
In their wins, yes.
Okay. All right, we're almost up here. We don't have a quarterback. Dak Prescott went in this round. Here's round 9 so far. Jerome Ford, Devin Singletary, Keon Coleman, and then number 100 overall, Austin Eckler, Dak Prescott at 101, Nick Chubb, J.K. Dobbins going ahead of Gus Edwards. That's interesting. Thoughts on that real quick?
It's such a crapshoot with that backfield right now. Who's going to be the best guy? The fact that Vidal looked better in the last preseason game, gives him clearly a chance to make the team now after there were some reports that he was going to get cut. So I would still lean toward Edwards, but if you have a feeling that Dobbins is going to be the better of the two, then you take him, but they shouldn't go that far apart to begin with either way.
I think the reason to take Gus is because you think he can last longer, and he's certainly the guy that's more likely to hit as far as short yardage touchdowns go. Now, I don't think he's going to get as many as he got in Baltimore. It's a great offensive line, but it's not the same thing as like what the Ravens have been cooking for a long time.
All right, let's wrap that up here. Roma Dunze is the next pick, and we are on the clock, guys. So we have Kyron Williams, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Christian Watson, and Kyle Pitts. The next 3 teams have Richardson, Burrow, and Love. I don't know if they're going to take a quarterback. We'd still need one. What are we doing here, guys?
I think we need a running back.
Rico
How
swap.
come?
How come?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just asking.
Well, I think our receiving core is pretty well set for a 2 receiver league in a flex. So to have the 4 guys that we have, I think we're pretty good.
Okay.
Dowdle. Dowdle.
So it would either be between Dowdle and Gus, and I'm with you, Adam, just because we already have an older running back to begin with, and so I
yeah.
would take the chance on Dowdle hitting as opposed to Gus just being kind of safe.
Dave, thumbs up. Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, I'm just fine with me.
All right, 105th overall. We're taking Rico.
But I do have a question. What if they trade for Khalil Herbert?
Well, after his performance last night, that probably would make sense.
Khalil, JSN. That's a good pick. I love JSN. Khalil Shakir, JSN at 107.
Yeah.
This is a good receiver round. Odunze, Shakir, JSN.
I agree. This is definitely, this is just more evidence.
There's two more guys we could take if you want to take another receiver coming back.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know that we have to take. I don't know what we have to take.
Yeah, it's me.
We have 3 picks left. No, we have 4 picks left. And I don't know that we have to take a quarterback. I still think we could do pretty well if we pass on a quarterback. There are some players I really want on my team. I wish I could do all of them. Like we don't have Ty Chandler, Jaleel McLaughlin. We don't have, there's some good players, but we can't. I don't think we'll take another running back.
I mean, the question is
now, no, I think we take best player available.
Okay.
If you miss on Purdy, say the team that took Dak also takes Purdy.
Well, we'd be
the
taking
team that
Caleb.
took Jaden Daniels that picks right after us takes Purdy.
We're up.
Are you going to be upset?
I want Caleb Williams personally.
Yeah, I would take Caleb over those guys.
Would you take Caleb over Purdy?
Yeah.
Easy.
Would you want both of them?
Yes.
But not in this draft.
All right, so we're on the clock. After we picked Dowdle, it was Shakir, JSN, and Edwards to finish round 9. Gus Edwards, that is. Brian Thomas Jr., Blake Corum, who probably would have been a good pick for us. Should we have actually taken Blake Corum instead of Rico Dowdle?
No, because I think there was a chance Corum could have made it back anyway. He just didn't. It's not the end of the world.
Chuba Hubbard, and now we're on the clock. So if we're not going to take a running back, we could take Marquise Brown, Jamison Williams, or a quarterback.
Marquise. We can take Marquise Brown.
Jamison's more fun, though.
Jamison.
All right. The man has spoken. He wants an SEC player, of course.
Thomas has basically made every decision for us.
He listens to a good podcast, I'll tell you that. Jamison Williams is the pick. All right, so we have gone 10 rounds without a quarterback. Let's see how this works out. Jamison Williams, Marquise Brown, and I'll keep everybody updated on the picks. Again, support our draft-a-thon. Oh, our draft-a-thon show is next Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. I think it's August 28th, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern, our draft-a-thon show, 2-hour live programming with best guests from the industry. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Am I allowed to say who's starting the show with us? Does anyone know? I'll double check before I say it. But we have a great guest to start the show, and
is it Heath?
I think he is on that segment. And yes, 4 to 6 p.m. our draft-a-thon show. That'll be on YouTube, youtube.com/fantasyfootball today. All right, round 10. Brian Thomas, Blake Corum, Chuba Hubbard, Jamison Williams, Marquise Brown, Trey Benson, Ezekiel Elliott, Jaleel McLaughlin. I do want to talk about this, though. Why was it smarter to take Rico Dowdle as our RB4 instead of Blake Corum? Because if Kyron Williams gets hurt, we're definitely going to prefer Corum to Dowdle, aren't we?
Not if Dowdle's a starting running back for the Cowboys, and you have both.
But if Dowdle isn't that good of a starting running back for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys end up being as pass happy as they were last year, then we will regret it. This is a hindsight is 2020.
Who says Blake Corum's going to be good as the starter for the Rams?
He might be. That's an offense I don't mind having the running back in. And if I had thought that we would not get Corum coming back, I would have suggested.
We weren't going to take Corum there. We weren't going to take a fifth.
No, because I thought that he'd have a better shot of making it back to us.
This is the conversation that you have to have if you're into handcuffs. If you are going to take the backup and just hope, sure, if you want to go that route. If you want to take the backup running back on your own team and just lock up that backfield and say, okay, I'm perfectly happy if I just have the Rams backfield, and then you're screwed with a player if Kyron Williams stays healthy the entire season. The other part of that is if you take another team's potential starter.
Yes.
And that guy hits, then you have 2 running backs that are better for your team. So unless the handcuff situation is so alluring to you, then I would just take the other team's starter.
So in this case, Corum is pretty alluring to me. Kyron Williams has a lot of injury history. as we broke down on Beyond the Box Score. And I don't, as much as I like Rico Dowdle, I'm not really sure for a guy that, by the way, we'll talk about injury history. His is much worse than almost anyone else that's been drafted. I'm not sure that Rico Dowdle ever gets a true lead role. I think he's always going to be split. I mean, this is a guess, obviously. If I could do it again, I think I would have taken Blake Corum there over Rico Dowdle.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, just because if Dallas does not add another run, I mean, I don't have to say anything. Jamie already laid it out.
No, but again, I think that we
Rewind 2 minutes and listen to Jamie. It's exactly.
might be overestimating Rico Dowdle's upside.
I don't disagree with that, but I don't think it's a slam dunk that Blake Corum comes in and is the featured back to the same level Kyron is, and B could be better than what the Cowboys running back is. We're gambling on the Cowboys running back. That's the roll of dice.
Yeah.
And if Kyron Williams is healthy for the majority of the season, we're clogging a roster spot on Corum.
That's true. That is true. And maybe I'm overestimating Corum's upside.
What would have been perfect is if Corum made it back to us and we had taken Corum in round 10. Not that I don't think we absolutely would have, because Jameson's pretty damn good. But to me, it's a non-starter because Corum went after, and I don't think any of us thought that Corum would not be available to us in early round 10.
Meanwhile, all this talk here, not a single quarterback has been drafted since our last pick. So this has worked out.
Dang.
After we took Jameson Williams, it was Marquise Brown, Trey Benson. All right, we're on the clock here. Are we taking Purdy or Caleb?
Caleb.
So if you think that Caleb is going to be like a blue chip guy that other teams are going to want, and Purdy is just kind of like old news, take Caleb first.
Why don't we just let
Purdy makes it back?
Why are we doing this? Just ask Schaefer. Schaefer, Purdy.
He already put Caleb in.
Caleb.
Yeah, but see,
I already chalked it up on the board.
Okay.
So Caleb is in. We'll take Purdy if he makes it back to us. But even if he doesn't, there's still Tua.
That's what I'm saying. To me, there's not much difference between Purdy and Tua in terms of what they can give you.
Yeah, Goff
So,
is on though.
I'm fine with either.
Stafford is still there, but he's a tier below Purdy and Tua. I like our chances of getting Purdy or Tua in the next round. And if it's Purdy, that'll be fun.
All right, so Jameson Williams, Marquise Brown, this is in round 10. Trey Benson, Ezekiel Elliott, Jaleel McLaughlin, Jordan Addison, Josh Palmer, Ty Chandler, Romeo Dobbs. Tyler Lockett, still, wow, so no tight end there at the 10-11 turn for Team Jordan, who then the next pick was David Njoku. So that's interesting. I probably would have taken Njoku there. After Njoku went, it was Charbonnet, Brandon Cooks, Rashid Shaheed, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Wright, and Jared Goff, and then we took Caleb Williams. I'm thrilled. Oh, that was the Jaden Daniels manager. I guess the Jaden Daniels manager didn't want to go Daniels and Caleb. I get that. So he went Daniels and Goff. Caleb Williams to us.
Purdy.
Antonio Gibson. Yeah, he could have taken Purdy. Antonio Gibson, Darnell Mooney, and now we're ready for the last pick of round 11, which is Tua. All right, so we got 3 picks ahead of us. Will Brock Purdy be one of those picks? Everyone has at least one quarterback. If Brock Purdy is one of those picks, do we take Stafford, Lawrence?
Nope.
None.
We're waiting another round.
Okay.
None.
Okay. That'd be disappointing. If that's a risk, you got to take some risks.
No, but you just pick one up off waivers.
Yeah.
But then you got to cut somebody.
Yeah, we'll cut Pitts.
We'll cut Pitts. He's no good.
Tyrone Tracy, Damian Pierce, Cole Kmet, and we are up with Brock Purdy.
Get him.
That's awesome. I love that pairing. They don't have the same bye week, do they?
Who cares? It's a mock.
No, they don't. Whew. All right. And
Will Herbert.
we still
We
could.
can do that with our last pick.
Great last pick if he's available. After Purdy, it's Dontavian Wicks. Why don't we start talking about teams? I think you know our team pretty well. Kyron Williams, David Montgomery. Our starting lineup is going to be Caleb Williams, Kyron Williams, David Montgomery Williams, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors. Oh,
wow.
love it. Kyle Pitts at tight end. I am happy with this team.
And I think we are. Jamie, you probably haven't started week 1 rankings yet, but Caleb Williams against Tennessee or Brock Purdy against the Jets?
Caleb.
Yeah.
I mean, they both secondaries look good on paper.
You
for both
banged up
teams.
or not there potentially.
Yeah, right. So we got a lot of players that have huge upside from week to week. We've got a couple of running backs that gash for touchdowns. This is a great team to start the season with.
With a great bench too, because we have Christian Watson, Raheem Mostert,
Right.
Rico Dowdle. We have
It's almost like we went a little safer at running back than I might have liked, but we definitely hit a lot of upside players at receiver. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we didn't need to take a safe receiver when we got so many guys that we liked just overall.
Yeah.
I like it. Good team.
Let's see who team 1 ends up with at tight end. He's about to be on the clock. Who's it going to be? Who's the best tight end?
Freiermuth.
It's probably going to be Freiermuth, right? Yeah.
Or you can go 2 tight ends.
All right. So let's see how the Justin Jefferson team turned out right before us, team 8. I think we said we like this build.
I like that build. Yeah.
All right. That team's
I like that team a lot too.
Jaden Daniels or Jared Goff with Jahmyr Gibbs and Ken Walker at running back. Justin Jefferson, Chris Godwin, and Terry McLaurin. There are a lot of potential outcomes with that receiving core. And Trey McBride at tight end. Good. Rome Odunze, Marquise Brown. Not a lot of running back depth. Only 3 running backs on the roster right now with 1 round left. Jahmyr Gibbs, Ken Walker, and Chase Brown.
One of those guys is banged up, and one might not be a starter.
Yeah. Who's banged up?
Gibbs.
And who's not going to... Oh, you mean Chase Brown's not going to be the starter?
He might not be the starter. I mean, look, we're hopeful he is, but he might not be.
So, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Walker. Yeah, I think maybe instead of taking Odunze or Marquise Brown as wide receivers 4 or 5, you could have taken a running back. You could have taken Rico Dowdle. You could have taken Khalil Herbert, Trey Benson, Jaleel McLaughlin. But not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, I really like the build.
Pat Freiermuth was the tight end, by the way, for team 1. Team 1, how did team 1 look? Risky picks at the 2-3 turn, but the 2-3 turn is tough. It is. I've seen people really not like picking first. You just have to hope McCaffrey's great again. McCaffrey, Achane, Cooper Kupp, Josh Allen. All right, his starting lineup. Sorry,
I gotta go.
Oh, okay. See you, man. Josh Allen at quarterback, McCaffrey and Achane at running back, Kupp, Rashee Rice, Calvin Ridley, or Kupp, Rashee Rice, and then the flex is either Ridley or Najee Harris, and the tight end is Freiermuth. I don't know. Not loving it.
I do like that he got Rice, or they got Rice. Look, you got if you're a believer in Achane, and he hits, it's well worth it there.
We are on the clock, Jamie. Your highest ranked running backs are Marshawn Lloyd, Braylon Allen, Tank Bigsby, wide receiver Xavier Legette, Pop Douglas, Adonai Mitchell. Take a hand back here.
I feel like I got to move Bigsby up. I kind of like Bigsby here.
All right, let's take Bigsby. Okay, we're done.
I would have taken Hawkinson and then placed him on.
That would have been a good pick. That was the right pick. I didn't even look at tight end. Thank you, Schaefer. Thank you, everybody, for drafting. This has been a really good draft. Schaefer's ready to crush his drafts. Let's pick one more team. Let's pick one of the teams that didn't get one of the Elite 8. Let's take team 11. Jonathan Taylor, Puka Nacua. That's a pretty good start, right?
Jonathan Taylor and Puka Nacua is a good start, yes.
Okay, that team is going to throw out Joe Burrow at quarterback, Mark Andrews at tight end, Jonathan Taylor and Aaron Jones at running back, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans at receiver, and then your flex. We probably don't love the Keenan Allen pick, but it could be good. Keenan Allen, Xavier Worthy might be your flex. JSN. I think my only beef with this team is that the running backs are Jonathan Taylor and Aaron Jones, but the backup running backs are Blake Corum and Dameon Pierce. You don't really have an RB3. You have handcuffs.
We could trade Dowdle and Caleb for Burrow.
That is something though. Like if you should probably have an RB3 on your team that is more than a handcuff. As soon as Aaron Jones or Jonathan Taylor gets hurt or has a bye, what are you going to do? So that would be my only suggestion.
So based on how you wanted to take Corum, would you have taken Ty Chandler instead of Corum?
If I were team 11, you mean?
Huh?
With Aaron Jones? Yes, I think that's a reasonable scenario. Yeah. No, and now is there another running back I would have taken instead? I think Jaleel McLaughlin maybe. But Ty Chandler would have made sense there. Did Ty Chandler get drafted?
Yes.
I don't even
Pick
see
team
him.
2. Round 10.
Oh, okay. Same round as Quorum. Yeah. What do you think, Jamie? Any final thoughts here?
That was fun.
It was
I
fun.
wonder what our team would have looked like if we had taken London in round 2.
I just can't believe you like London better than Olave.
I do.
It's nerve wracking for me to project that kind of improvement. Again, hasn't finished top 40, and we're talking about taking him 15th, 16th overall with a guy, an older quarterback coming off a torn Achilles. It just scares me a little bit too much.
They got Penix.
Okay. Well, this was a lot of fun and a really good draft with only one auto pick, I think. So I want to thank our drafters. They did a great job. And thanks everybody for watching and listening. Hopefully this helps get you ready for your draft. And we've got the mailbag coming up later today for video and on Saturday for audio. Have a great day, everybody. See ya.